Welcome. Thanks for watching. It's another interview. My name is Frank Klesitz with Vyral Marketing. I'm here at Alexander Prewitt in Phoenix. Been in the business for about 12 years and signed up as a client earlier April of this year. So April, May, June, July, about five months has been a customer. Has been getting good results with the program. We'll get into why that is. I want you to hear what his marketing plan is. Phoenix is a very, very competitive market. It's basically ground zero where every Silicon Valley venture-backed, we buy your home, compare agents, shop agents. When you drive down to Phoenix, you can't miss a billboard or a TV ad or a radio ad of someone trying to get a piece of the real estate commission. So it's very competitive, mostly because it's a very homogeneous market. It's lots of reasons. But Alex is going to share how he's competing today, what he's doing for his marketing. So hopefully you can watch this and take away some good takeaways. So Alex, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, my pleasure. Happy to be here for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, you're right. Phoenix is a total battleground. It's like everything new and fancy that comes here, every disruptor, everything that's different, it always comes here and either thrives or goes away. So we see a lot.
Tell me about the market right now. What's going on with
Yeah,
transactions, relatively speaking, to last year and where you stand?
yeah. So transactions are down. I think we're down about 50% from last year. So the volume, the transaction volume is a lot lower. Um, I think it's all relative to the inventory right out there. So inventory is low. I would say Phoenix is going to be comparable. It's going to look and feel like other places like Las Vegas. We're very similar market. So in the bread and butter price ranges, 700K or lower, homes are still moving. We do have a decent amount of buyer demand. Some of the higher price ranges, things take a little longer to sell, but it's similar across the board like we see nationwide. We're seeing lower inventory but lower demand from buyers. So there's a lot of sales out there. It's just there's a fewer amount. So it's hyper competitive to grab those, which is kind of fun for me. I think it's a lot of fun to be in this market.
Fun's one word to use. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 12 years in Phoenix, business just skyrockets in 2021, early
Crazy.
2022. Just craziness.
Yeah.
And then
Craziness.
just collapses
Yeah.
50%.
Oh yeah.
So you called us up in April. You were watching, I believe, one of our clients, Spring Benson, who you follow out in Utah.
Yep.
And you realized earlier this year you had to retool your business, kind of coming off the sugar high of 2021. I would assume.
Absolutely.
Is that the case? Right?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So take me back to that time and the decisions that you had to make to reshift coming off of 2021.
Yeah, it
And
was.
2022.
Yeah, so it was a total this is actually great because a total rebrand, restructuring everything because not only did the market change, but my brand changed, my brokerage changed, and my strategy all changed. That is why I ended up going to you guys and why you guys have been so helpful. So I was at a disruptor for several years, was a brokerage coach at a company called 72 Sold. So I was there and I was kind of the face of it. I was coaching agents and doing great. And towards the end of 2022, I saw a market shift, and there were just, for lack of more words, there were things that I felt I could do better if I found a different brokerage. Didn't like the model anymore. I didn't feel it served me. So I decided to make a change. Now that's important because my marketing plan with that brokerage was wrapped around, unfortunately, really one funnel of leads, really one structure, which was paid generated seller leads through media, through TV, radio, billboards, just like you mentioned earlier. So when I rebranded and I went to a different brokerage, I had to restructure my whole marketing plan, my unique selling proposition, my hook, and then all of my lead funnels. And I noticed one of the biggest things that I was lacking was I actually legit email campaign because I've got some autopilot stuff, once a month and newsletters, but I've done a high volume of transactions and I thought, okay, if I'm going to rebrand, restructure, I really need another channel to communicate with my people that's not boring, that will lead gen because I dropped the ball on that. I had closed hundreds of transactions from 2019 to 2022 with basically little to no email marketing. And I'm like, oh gosh, I dropped the ball. I got to re-engage these people, rebrand them, tell them what I'm doing. So that is part of the transition and why when I saw you working with Spring, I thought, okay, well, yeah, I don't really understand email marketing well enough to make it strategic. Also, I don't necessarily have the time to create that content as well or create the structure. So that's what brought me, I guess, to Vyral during the middle of a huge transition from market and brokerage, if that makes sense.
I have to ask, and feel free to
Yeah,
answer as truthfully as you like.
I will.
72 sold spends millions and millions of dollars on radio, TV, billboard, like bottom of the funnel seller lead generation,
Hmm.
originally in Phoenix. And last I heard, they're in some like 200 some markets
Hmm.
around the United States, and Phoenix is the home market. It would seem to me that if you had access to those leads, you kind of scored the Holy Grail, but you left. I have to know why.
Hmm. Yeah, you're spot on. I think, and this is going to be completely transparent. I think it's really helpful and it speaks to what the consumers need. So I did have access to Holy Grail. I had pretty easy to convert seller leads at little to no upfront cost to me. Um, but the dynamic of the leads changed as the market shifted and that brokerage experienced financial changes. The lead volume changed, the lead quality changed, and the agreements and dynamics in that brokerage changed, meaning the business plan that I had set up with them that was running was changed on me overnight without anything I could control, meaning their new policies and their changes. So that's number one. It completely disrupted the model that I had going. So I decided, okay, do I stay or do I go or do I reek this? Because this is a whole new way. Like we still have some leads, but this is different. And number two, the marketing message, which I think is really important, why I'm pretty particular on what I send out with you guys, is I felt that during COVID, our marketing message worked. You could definitely sell your house in 72 hours, probably for more money if you did it the right way. However, the marketing message didn't align with my brand anymore after the market shifted. The marketing message shifted to
Nice way
we're
of
going to
saying
sell
that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't go out and tell somebody I'm going to sell their house in 8 days for more money, guaranteed in this market. It's just the lead quality shifted because psychologically, if I'm if I'm a normal seller and I see an ad in today's market or 6 months or 9 months ago that says you're going to sell my house in 8 days for more money, what happens on day nine? I turn into an unrealistic, mean, grumpy seller because you programmed me to think that way. You
Yeah.
gave me all of that information versus any other seller who's educated from a different marketing channel is here's the market, here's how we're going to capitalize it, here's how we're going to win. But I'm not saying we have to sell in 8 days. So that all of those leads who are being fed a message come with that assumption. So for me, I'm like, okay, now these are different leads. These are different people. This is a different marketing message. It doesn't align with my
You still there,
brand. I
Alex?
don't think it functions. I think there's a better way to serve clients. So I reworked and built a completely different marketing and selling strategy that worked better. So yeah, that's exactly right.
Great answer. Thank you.
That's true. Yeah,
Good.
that's exactly what
Good answer.
happened.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Okay. So let's talk about all the things you did to retool. So
Yeah.
you picked a new broker.
Pick a new broker. Went to
Okay.
Real Broker.
Got it. You got Vyral going on to
Hmm.
export all your past clients in your sphere, your old leads, and started putting a 36 touch program in place to stay in touch with them.
Hmm.
Great. What else did you do?
Yeah, so I set up kind of four legs of my chair. I went all in on my social media. I already had, to be fair, I feel I have a fairly strong social presence. And when I say all in, I mean you won't see me. If you're connected to me on Facebook, Instagram, I'm in your face every day. I'm posting content every day that's different content. So I went all in, meaning I already have a really good social brand. I'm going to go all in and really crank my content, like really get in your face and be a little bit controversial, meaning I'm going to make sure my content is all consumer focused. It's all geared towards getting consumers to pique their curiosity and have a hook. Meaning if you ever look at my Instagram or Facebook, you're not going to see just listed, just sold. You're going to see things like why marry the house date the rate is wrong, or how to buy a house in 2023 with a low interest rate and save thousands. How to buy a house off market in 2023. You're going to see like hooks. I only speak to my consumers. I don't speak to realtors. I don't care. So that was one of my channels is I'm going all in on thought-provoking content to build my brand, to give myself more credibility, because I know if I send you a direct mail marketing piece, you're going to what? You're going to Google. And when Google comes up, that's phase two really of this is I set up my like online store, if you will. Meaning if Frank, who doesn't know me from Adam, gets some sort of hit with something from me and you Google me, you're going to see on my everywhere. You're going to see all my Google reviews. You're going to see I'm open for business. You're going to find a way to contact me, my phone, my email, all my websites, my reviews, my Instagram. Like everything is set up to say, okay, this guy's clearly in business. He clearly has a value proposition. I see social proof, meaning I see a bunch of reviews that he has. So I thought, okay, first, before I go out and market, I need to make sure my social presence is really, really strong, and then my online presence is really strong. That was like step one. If that makes sense.
Makes total sense. I just have to be curious. Being so good at social media and video, why'd you hire us? Give me that little nuance of why you decided to give
Yeah.
us money. I'm curious.
Um, I That's a great question. I'm very good at creating content, meaning I could bang out videos all day. Having you guys is so helpful because I don't have to go create the emails, write them, make them look pretty. All the lead capture forms, I can come up with an idea with. Um, think Aaron is very patient because I come up with a lot of lead generation ideas with Aaron on your team, and I'm like, hey, dude, I want to do this, and it's done. So I hired you guys for leverage to make sure it all looks pretty, it functions the right way, to get all my people in the right place. And then when I have a lead generating idea, like I need a paper form or a funnel or a landing page filled out, it's just done for me because I have a
Oh,
lot of these ideas. So that was easier for me. Totally worth it because I have the ideas and I can create the content. I don't have the time or the knowledge to structure it behind the scenes and make it.
great
So
answer. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
deliver
super
on. I
helpful.
created that for you. Thank you.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
wish I had this long ago because I'm like, oh, my content's really good, but I'm only getting it on Instagram. I'm so dropping the ball. I'm so dropping the ball, not getting it on email. So, and I get good feedback now. I get really good feedback. So,
You know, keep doing what you're doing with social media. Make sure that we continue to build the email database. Make sure that we're spending a little bit of money on retargeting to get your frequency up of your best stuff.
makes
So I'm going to give you
sense.
a little tip. Why don't you find like what Facebook posts or what content got the best reach and engagement of all your organic,
Yeah.
and then pick that and let's put some money behind it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes
just a
sense.
couple bucks a day retargeting. We do that for you. So email,
Can we do that
then
on
paid
Instagram as
retargeting.
well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Email.
So Facebook and Instagram link.
Okay.
And then third, please, I beg of you, use direct mail.
Okay.
So to
Yeah.
your top customers, like your top 150 best seller leads in the pipe, best buyer leads in the pipeline, past clients, best past clients that actually like you, have good
Yeah.
vibes, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know if email and social media is going to hit them. You just don't know if
It's
it's going to be
true.
served up, right?
Yeah.
But you know that if you have their mailing address and a stamp, um, make sure to watch those classes I teach every week on our website, getviral.com/class, and it goes through how to leverage the full viral marketing program. It's interesting because I just have to say this is you'd think that someone who's really good at social media may not need us, but we're actually not really a social media marketing company. It's more
Mm-mm.
email, direct mail, and yeah, we post on social media some retargeting. You're rounding that all off, rounding all that out by posting a lot more daily, which is fine for that
Yeah.
brand.
And the direct
Anyways,
mail's super good. We send out some direct mail, but it's more mass. The one area that I've never conquered, I
you
guess,
need
and
to
it's
do it.
like real estate 101 is hyper, like local farming on an area. I
Well,
don't
not even
locally
not even
farm an
local
area.
farming, just your past clients and sphere, your top 150.
Okay.
Go type in what's it called? I don't know. It's like it's a I forget what it's called. It's like how many relationships a human can hold. There's a word for it, but I really want you to leverage the direct mail aspect of staying in touch with your database with Vyral
Okay.
to round out all the online, because there is a point of diminishing marginal returns online where you can only publish so much content or do so much more. Um, Opening up the direct mail to your top 50, good bet.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So,
awesome. Thank you.
switch brokerage, 36 touch program with Vyral, going all in on social media. What else did you do to retool your business in Phoenix with a change in the market, switching brokerages? Kind of getting out of toll booth position from relying on
Number
someone
part.
else to provide your leads, right?
Yeah, and people watching this video, you might laugh at this statement. This is a true statement. I think you'll get this. Where I was great. Getting out of that environment is one of the most difficult things to do. It's almost like being a drug addict. And you'd laugh, but you're basically your whole life is surrounded by one funnel of leads that could go on and off at any time. And that's the identity of that company, and that's fine. Great, that's great for them. But so coming off of that is like, okay, we got to get a multiple different channels going. So we do outbound mail. I actually use Emmy with REI Direct. I
Yeah,
send out
great.
mailers, and this is where we shine. This is where we have absolutely crushed listing appointments with those mailers. So for those of you who don't know, and I know you know me, you guys are all friends. So these are
Oh
checks
yeah,
that go out to somebody's house. But the phone call is where there's two parts where what's really helped grow our business quickly is the phone call and then the seller strategy session. The phone call is like, hey, what's this check about? Are you going to buy my house? So I've coached our team on how to take that call, diffuse them, create curiosity, and then hook them in for an appointment. And our response is that's one of the three offers that we're going to bring you. We're going to come out your house and we're going to bring you multiple different options. So all the check is really meant to do is get us in the door, and then from there we either wholesale it subject to it or we retail list it. And I built my whole seller strategy session, which is what I call a listing appointment, is a 6-step process. It allows me to respond to that letter when they're like, "Hey, I got
yeah.
the letter." They throw it on the table. I'm like, "I'm so glad you brought that up. We're going to address that today. Here's why it could work for you. Here's why it might." So I basically took some of the stuff I created at 72 Sold that I created on my own and 10x that made it better. So my response is the other funnel is MEI's or REI directs letters with Emmy, but I say that because you have to really be well coached on how to take that call.
Oh yeah.
It's a call with like, hey, you have a check to buy my house. It's not a normal seller lead evaluation, sell my house. So because we've really invested a lot of time in wrapping a process around that, that has worked. Um, 2 days ago, we got a 1.1 and a 700K listing from the same person from a I'll buy your house letter. Um, and that was her same thing is like, what's this letter about? Like, are you really going to buy my house? So
Alexander, how many do you mail?
that one we mailed 3,000.
There.
And if every 3,000 we send, we'll get at least 25 to 35 calls. We'll get the opportunity to get in front
Yeah,
of.
it's about 1%.
Yeah, I would say out of that, we'll get probably 3 to 5 deals. It's not bad at all.
And what's your cost per piece to mail 3,000?
About 97 cents.
That's great. Well,
Yeah.
look at you. These are some fundamentals. So you switch brokerages. You decided to put a strategy in place to stay in touch with your Mets with a quality 36 touch program.
Hmm.
You decided to get your online presence boosted up because people are going to Google you. That's how you kind of positioned your updating social media all the time. More of like
Yeah.
researchable. And then you got a haven't met strategy by picking a farm, picking a demographic, and sending them all direct mail with, I have an offer on your home. I have a buyer for your home, or I am the buyer. Here's the check.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think what's key, we don't have time today, but this is something I'd love for you to share at the mastermind you'll be at coming up,
Yeah.
is the 2-step appointment process.
Oh
The
yeah.
first appointment is research, and the second appointment is you present all the options.
Yeah, that process is like, so Spring and we have a 6 week seller mastery course where I teach a lot of this stuff, but that is the bread and butter. That is the magic sauce. If there's any magic sauce, that's what it is because it's so non-traditional. It speaks to exactly what sellers want because they want safety and certainty. They don't want the hassles of traditional real estate, and they don't want to have some investor jerk them around. So, how do we create safety and certainty from a phone call? How do we remove any sales resistance from that phone call so I can get in the door? And then from there, I take them down like a funnel. It's a 6 step funnel to take them right where I want to go. So,
Wonderful. So, how would you describe the growth in your business? I mean, are you doing more deals? Are you doing less deals? Have you gone from, are you doing more? Where's your production and income? Because
yeah,
I'm just curious,
it
given all the
it's
transition.
I thought it was going to be so bad this year because of everything. I'm like, this is going to be rough. Buckle
That's why
up.
I'm hesitant to ask you. I mean,
It's
like,
actually really good. So my
transactions are down
personal,
50%. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, so my personal production without this is not going to include my team. I'll do about 25 mil, which is great. That's great for me. That's not any of my team deals. So where is my business this year is it is actually better than last year because the last thing I guess I could add is I went all in on actually being not just a good team leader, but really great leader. That's the thing that is the number one thing that has built my business is being a real, true, reliable like coach and leader. Because I was last year and the year before I was good, not great. I held my team meetings, I brought them value, but I went all in on being like, this guy's gonna bring it. This guy's gonna bring really good value every single coaching session. It's helped me because I am a team leader and a driver of revenue for me is per agent production. So, I mean, when I say all in on being a good leader, I'm like, I am committed to these guys. I am every day trying to make our processes better. I do one-on-ones with them, build out their calendars, giving them exact stuff to do. And we've gone from 9 people to 26 people this year. So, um, that's
Wow.
been fun. That's like my number
So
one
you've
thing
grown
is,
from 9 to 26 agents,
yep,
and you still do 25 million personally.
yep,
And have you, will you grow your business this year with all the changes? Like, will your
yeah,
volume be up?
yeah. Um, Yeah, it will be because we have a whole off-market team too. So my whole my income will either be it's going to probably be the same or maybe just a hair more, which I'm ecstatic about that because I mean everybody's income last year was probably pretty darn good and the year before.
Hmm.
So I was almost planning on my income being, half or no, even a third, just the way the year started. Who knows? I was buckled up and ready. And then I just kind of went all in and said, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet and just screw it. I'm either going all in or bust. Like I'm just gonna do this, and either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna go out swinging. And we're still swinging. So,
Ooh, good for you, man. That's an emotional hit. So
oh yeah,
planning on your income being half, switch brokerages, put all this in place, put your recruiting in place, whole new two-step appointment system, and you're going to maintain your income. What a great
yeah.
story.
It was scary. Don't get me wrong. It was scary. It was hard. There was a lot of ups and downs. Um, I was super motivated when I went to spring break. I am super lucky that I have people like you and Spring and all these people who I can lean on and helped me, but I just had to make a choice. I'm like, I'm either going to go all in this and spend my money, like I'm making money, but I'm putting it right back into my company right now, right back into my lead gen, and just I figure if I can put my head down and keep growing through the rest of the year, then next year should be even better. So, um, the last couple of years, even though I did 80 million in 2022 with my team, that's team, I still wasn't all in. I was on the gravy train taking those leads. I wasn't all in on a well-structured business. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
I have and it sounds funny, but I am actually trying to go viral. I'm trying to be like the guy that everybody knows because he brings value. So that's why you guys have helped me. I want to be in everybody's face all over. I'm like, you can't hide from me. Sorry, you can't hide from me. I'm in your face every day.
Well, you're already doing that. Let's make sure we're doing the retargeting, a little bit of direct mail to those key people.
Yeah,
Let's really
that
make sure
makes
we're
sense.
dialing those in. Yeah.
It's super
How would you
helpful.
how would you sum up, last question, just kind of a viral question. Everyone's always worried about the return on investment. Will I make the money back that I spend on anything? Specifically to viral, how do you know it's working? How do you know, are you getting more deals from viral to the best that you can track it?
I know it's working because I'm getting pretty good responses and I can see my opening rate. And I know that if I'm getting that many eyes on my stuff, it's almost like they're at bats. Um,
Yeah.
I can't see specific closings that have happened from it yet, but I can see that my overall presence and like a lifetime nurture process is growing and getting better. And I think for me, it might take longer than some because I did drop the ball. I closed a lot and I just did automated touches, HomeBot and reminder media, like automated monthly follow-ups that are there, but they're not really going to hook you. So it might take longer for me than some because they're not used to this stuff.
Hmm. Let's make sure that we're calling the people clicking the links in those
Yeah.
videos. So here's a couple things. So let's get your retargeting going on Facebook and Instagram. Find your best piece of content, and we want to spend enough money on retargeting where you get about a 5-6 time frequency over 30 days. So you want them to see
Okay.
the ad 5-6 times, 4 to 6 times over 30 days. That's your budget. All right. Direct mail to your top contacts. Shoot for 150.
Okay.
Okay. Which feels small because, like, you're doing thousands of emails and all the social media, but it's designed to be that way.
Yeah.
And then take one of your agents that's willing to make calls. You got 20. How many do you have? 26?
Yeah.
Okay. One of them would be down
Yeah.
to call the people clicking the links in your emails. So
Yeah.
when people are clicking links to watch your videos, or they're clicking links to find out what their home is worth or search for homes, you have those reports. We can get that to you. Make sure you have someone proactively following up with those people for an appointment.
Yeah. That
Like, for
makes perfect
example,
sense.
think of it this way. I'm going to send out an email to our list saying, I have all my notes, how Alex is doing. It's going to go to, in our list, maybe 10,000 legitimate emails. And we might have, maybe, if we're lucky, a couple hundred people clicking through to watch your interview. Oh, we're calling them. So if
Yeah.
you're
Oh
watching this
yeah.
through an email, you're probably going to get called. Like, hey, you watch this story with Alexander. What do you think? Do you want to schedule time to talk about visiting? And people will say yes. But if I just send it out and don't have that follow up on those clicks, you get nowhere near the number of conversations that can lead to a sale.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's good information. Yeah, it's kind of, you use your emails kind of to shake the trees a little bit
Yeah.
to figure out
And
who's
see what falls
engaged.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, man.
Smart.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for the kind words today. Thanks for being a customer, and congratulations
Yeah.
on your success. That is a lot of work,
My
man.
pleasure. I
That was a
appreciate you
gut
guys.
punch this year. That's for sure.
Huge gut punch.
Yep.
Yeah. But we're here. We're thriving. I appreciate you
Yeah.
guys. So
Well, cool. Well, if you're watching this next week, I'll be down at the Built How event. It might be after you seeing this, but Built How, Ben Kinney, Chris Suarez put on a nice event twice a year to interview how business owners grow. I'll be in Phoenix for that, and we're doing a top agent listing mastermind on the evening of September 11th, and Alexander will be at that.
yep. If you guys are there, come say hi to us. It'll be a good time. So,
What's your Instagram handle? How do people get a hold of you if they have a referral to Phoenix for you?
yeah, it's just Alex Prewitt. I'll see if I can type it in the chat. It's just Alex
It
Prewitt
won't go.
underscore. Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just Alex Prewitt underscore. Pretty easy to find me on there. I make it easy for people to look me up. So Alex Prewitt underscore. Simple.
Wonderful. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Frank. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Okay.